Coming up right now, we're going to take you to one American town that's living like the Old West. Guns and ammo required. Yeah.
Put those finger guns away, cowboy. Also coming up, a driver caught speeding at more than 130 miles per hour. The bizarre reason he gave officers for driving like a madman.
All right, a little bit later on, a male stripper reveals some of the craziest things women do during their bachelorette parties.
Ooh, boy, he's telling. Daily Flash starts right now.
Know who you are.
Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrea Jackson.
I am Mitch English. This is Daily Flash. Welcome. Yes. We got a whole hour packed with today's trends, tomorrow's talk.
Yes, we do. Matt Doolittle joining us.
Maddie.
Hello. Did you guys see all the new stuff coming along with Universal Orlando's Epic Universe?
Epic Universe.
Yeah,
This thing
exciting.
is going to be insane. Everybody,
Epic.
Epic Universe. You did it. The one everybody's really in for is the Dark Universe side, where it's all Frankenstein. Because some of the robotics are supposed to be some of the most lifelike looking ones ever created.
Where
I'm
can
stoked for
folks find more information like this?
They can go to YouTube and go to preview review on the Daily Flash.
Or our website.
And our website.
All right, taking care of the camera guys is Sweet Baby James.
Yes.
What do you got in what are you bearing?
Oh,
you got your pack
just a
today.
little something, you know what I'm saying? Just keep me going throughout the show, you know what I
What's in
mean?
James's
I got a couple
my
something.
goodness.
You want something to drink? I got that too. I got a few snacks to make sure everybody is happy,
Snacks,
you know? You got to keep them
beverages?
happy behind the camera.
He's like a
You know what
flight
I'm saying?
attendant.
You want something to eat?
Yeah, or like
I do got some chicken in here too, but you know, I can't bring that out. They got to pay to play, baby.
All
Pay
right.
to play.
He's like a human mini bar.
Right? Yeah, he just walks around and much more
I
expensive
like
than the
it,
hotels.
yes. All right. I'm going to say a phrase here. I don't want you to be shocked.
Okay, I'm ready.
There's a trend that's happening across the country in at least 20 different states.
Okay.
Croc blocking.
All right, I'm assuming
The
that.
Croc block is
shoes.
on. The shoes
Okay,
are being
all right,
banned in schools across 20 different states. And apparently, I didn't know this, and Matt, maybe you can verify, but Walt Disney World has banned them on escalators.
Yep.
But they are causing so many injuries across the country for young school kids that they're saying, no more. And doctors are saying there is a huge rise in foot falls,
That's
in
interesting.
leg injuries, and arm injuries because of these rubber clogs. They're getting caught on things, they fall off, the kids don't wear the straps around the ankles.
It's called sport mode when they
So sport
It
mode.
is. That's
Well, and it's also costing a lot of money because these kids are ending up in hospitals. And they're saying in case of a true emergency in a lot of these schools, they don't want them wearing Crocs because if they've got to run and get out somewhere, and they're wearing these shoes, there's a chance that they could trip, they could fall, they might not make it out.
My son has them. He wears them all the time. And matter of fact, when he goes to crew, he wears them because they get all muddy, and I can understand that.
Sure.
But this is something, more and more injuries happening. But if you pull back on what the shoe is altogether, they will be around with cockroaches. It's styrofoam basically. I mean,
Yeah.
you have to chew them up.
Yes.
They've not figured out a way what they're going to do with recycling them. So if that stops people from getting them
Yes.
too, that's something to
They
consider.
were made as a joke for idiocracy.
Idiocracy, that's
They were
correct.
made as a joke.
They had him out there. And the story goes is the costumer is like, we need something that looks really stupid because what stupid people would wear in the future. So they got Crocs. Nobody knew about Crocs.
Yeah.
Nobody had anything at all. But if you watch the movie, they're all wearing them.
And that is a result of the stupid people now wearing them everywhere in this
so.
day and age. Teachers also say those charms that they add to
Yeah.
them are a big
They
distraction.
fall off all the time.
Yes.
Too. And basically it's a pin that goes through.
Yeah.
So probably going to step on it anyway.
Yes.
Sid, you can't run very fast in those things, and you look ridiculous.
You do.
And socks and Crocs are the absolute worst. So keep that in mind.
I 100% agree with you.
Let's go to Kennesaw, Georgia, where did you know in that town in Kennesaw, it is against the law not to own a gun.
Really?
True story. Residents in the small town are required to own guns and ammo. It's actually a rule that's been on the books since the early 1980s. The law excludes anyone who is not legally allowed to own a gun or has conflicting religious beliefs. Of course, they don't have to worry about it. The law
Or
is
wears Crocs.
Or wears Crocs, which right there tells you a lot. The law is a source of pride for some residents and a little bit of embarrassment for others. Most believe that the law keeps their citizens safe because, well, everybody's packing heat, right? While Kennesaw became the first town to require gun ownership, Morton Grove, Illinois became the first U.S. city in the United States to ban gun ownership, which, isn't there something in the Constitution about that?
Yeah, exactly. Second Amendment?
Something like that
I'm not
altogether.
sure how you could ban that, but
The old joke was like, if you go into this bar and you don't have a gun, don't worry, they'll give you one because you're going to need it. But it's interesting to see this town. And I didn't think about the aspect of, if you know that there's a gun in the house, would it stop you?
Well, I think there's a lot of stories in Florida that, a lot of criminals know that homeowners here in the state of Florida carry guns. So there's a good chance if you break into that home, you will be shot.
Stand your ground rules.
Hey, I'm so excited. I got mine, so I'm ready.
You have your gun?
Oh yeah, I try. Well, my brother trains people on how to
really?
shoot and so on.
Oh, we
So
should
And
talk.
that's the thing. If you're going to own a gun, you better be willing to use it. And if you're going to use it, you better get trained for it.
You need to know.
Yeah.
We just bought one, and I want to talk to you about that. Cause
Okay, I got you covered.
But my son, who's a police officer, came down and he was showing us how to use it. It was weird because you would think, especially with my history, my son was murdered by a gun. You would think that I would totally hate it. I go, no, it's not the gun that killed him.
Right.
It was the person that pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
And in this day and age, that's something I never thought I would have, but it makes sense to me now.
Right.
When you're trying to protect
For your own
stuff.
protection.
For all my
I
protection.
asked my wife if I could get one, and she just looked at me and went, Matt, please.
Matt.
Oh, wow.
Well, they know your history. Yeah, you go. Well, I have plenty of relatives that'll give me one, right?
Hey.
Well, a driver was recently pulled over after officers clocked him going more than 130 miles per hour in Connecticut.
Whoa.
When troopers approached the car and asked him why he was going so fast, the 28-year-old said that he was in a rush to get home and see his cat. The feline fan then failed to complete a field sobriety test and was arrested and charged with DUI. He has
rushing home to
since
watch Twilight.
been released and is scheduled to appear in court. 130 miles per hour. Now that would qualify him as a super speeder in the state of Georgia, right?
Right.
wow.
And I found out, by the way, I was listed as a super speeder, and it just got off my record, so I'm no longer a super speeder. So that means I have to go back. And
Yeah.
I have to get that
Re-up your membership.
$1,000 fine for it. Literally was
Really?
Once you go over a certain speed, it's
like double,
it's
right?
$1,000 fine, and you can't fight it. It's a trial. If you go to court, you have to.
Oh wow.
Really?
So I slowed down and made sure that.
It's mandatory court.
So, what's that?
Anything over 89, at least in Florida.
I was well over in Florida.
Go to court.
So it was well over, huh?
It was well over. Yeah, it was in a rental car. Does that count for anything?
I thought that was.
I was
Biscuit
going home
and
to see
Kiki,
my
though.
cats.
That's Biscuit and Kiki. I think that
Biscuit.
picture is wrong. That made me mad.
Look, when my cat fell off the balcony, I was flooring it to the
Were
hospital.
you? Okay, I got you.
Nothing wrong with that. Matt, he guys kind of looks like you.
Yeah.
Is there a thing about cats and dudes that look
Hey,
like that?
that's why he grew the beard.
Oh, is
I don't want to doppelganger that guy.
Sure, that's not you, Matt.
Yeah,
No,
he was making fun of him earlier. I was like, you're probably to watch Twilight. All
I've never seen Twilight in my life.
right.
I think he has.
Been to a male strip show? Yes.
I mean,
no?
we went to Thunder from Down Under
Yes,
one
we've
time.
done.
so-
I've done stories on the. Anyway, there's-
Right, I'm glad you clarified it.
Yeah.
He's doing stories. There's a male stripper now. He's actually making a shocking claim about his female clientele. He says that based on his own experience, women are just as likely to cheat as men. 31-year-old dancer says that actually more women cheat during bachelorette parties than you might actually think. And he believes women in some ways can be worse than men because they don't think that they're going to get caught, or maybe their partners are less worried about them doing something outside the relationship. He says despite his experience, he prefers monogamy over an open relationship. So he's not only a stripper, he has a heart.
Oh,
Nice.
heart of gold.
Heart of gold. So if, listen, it's true that I think you'll have to speak on this
Yeah.
because when women, I think when they're all grouped together and the guys are not, the husbands aren't around, they probably want to act like that even with the husband around, but they're with their girls and stuff.
Yeah,
Mariah?
I think it's the same for
Girls trip, yeah.
I think it's the same for bachelor or bachelorette parties. You get a group of people who get out of the house maybe once out of every 10 years, and they go completely nutso. And then it's sort of like their rationale.
And so did the stripper.
And so, yes, they do. Especially that guy, the way he's sitting. I just
Bagging it up, baby. Bagging it up. Any team anymore?
I'm sorry, but it's hard not to notice
No,
that.
you're 100% right. I was counting the zits on his thighs. That's how close it is.
Well, there you go. So you saw it too. I just think that when people get out of their everyday humdrum, they end up going
Okay.
completely
I
nuts
agree
out.
wholeheartedly with you on that. And also, I would have, correct me if I'm wrong,
Yeah.
women go, well, every guy would love me to do this to him,
Yes.
you know? Which is not a lie, right?
Right.
But you can't do that to a female stripper, right?
When guys go to strip
Well,
clubs, they
depending
know
on where you go.
what they're like boundaries, 6
Yeah.
feet. You know,
They'll let you know.
No,
and if you don't know what we're talking about, I'm going to do a demonstration. It's going to take about 30 seconds. Really quick. Hey, that red carpet means it's time for us to check in with Tony Toscano to find out what's coming out of Hollywood and straight to your screen, no matter what size you're going to watch it on. With the latest, here's Tony.
Thanks, Mitch. Streaming on Peacock is the crime thriller The Hunting Party. It stars Melissa Roxburgh.
They escaped from a classified prison.
How many?
A lot. We have to get them all back before they kill anyone else.
We're dealing with highly intelligent, malignant narcissists.
Who are volatile and unpredictable.
The longer they're out there, the more dangerous they're going to become.
The Hunting Party follows a small team of investigators who are assembled to track down and capture the most dangerous killers ever seen, all of whom have just escaped from a top-secret prison that's not supposed to exist. I chatted with series star Melissa Roxburgh.
As people discover The Hunting Party, what do you think they'll take away with them from watching it?
Don't go into dark alleys alone. I think they'll take away, at the very least, I hope people are entertained. I hope people go on the roller coaster with us. I hope they ride the ups and downs and the twists and turns of each episode. And I hope that they turn off the TV at night going, uh-oh, I'm a little scared to sleep. Or like, I can't wait to watch the next one. I just hope people get excited about it the way we did.
The Hunting Party isn't a new concept, but the series does a good job in reworking a tired and formulaic idea. I'm hoping the writing stays crisp and the characters are paid attention to in the writer's room. Again, The Hunting Party is streaming on Peacock and gets a B. It's rated TV 14. Streaming on Prime is the action thriller Into the Deep.
Mayday, I've got divers in trouble 50 miles due west.
Would you look at the size of that thing?
How y'all doing today?
Proceed with caution. A reported pirate activity in the north near the channel.
It's like we got 80 kilos down there just waiting for us. Let's go get them. You won't say anything. Wish I could believe that, Chief.
No! There is a shark out there, and it is hunting.
Who do you propose go down there and settle my guys?
I've studied them my whole life. I'm the best chance that you've got.
That's one brave girl you got there.
Modern-day pirates on the hunt for sunken drugs kidnap a boat of tourists and force them to dive into shark-infested waters to retrieve the contraband.
If I ever encounter a shark, I know exactly what to do. Stay calm. It's kind of like a bear, right? Like you make yourself big, and then you go for their nose. And literally, I do it in the film, sorry to give too much away, but that is exactly what you do to sort of get them to veer off. And
I would think you would push an extra right in front of them. And then swim fast.
Bye. Yeah.
I don't think the union would support any of that. But
no, they wouldn't.
Into the Deep is an old-fashioned thriller with plenty of twists and turns to keep you on the edge of your seat. And adding Richard Dreyfuss into the mix makes the film even more watchable. Again, it's streaming on Prime Video and gets a B. It's rated R. For the Daily Flash, I'm film critic Tony Toscano.
A 10-foot White House in Jacksonville, Florida is making some headlines. The home is built on a sliver of land, and neighbors say it was done out of spite. The developer refused to sell the awkwardly sized lot to his neighbor, so he built a tiny house just to prove something could fit in the space, and this is what he ended up with.
Nice.
This is quite remarkable when you take a look at it. It looks like it's kind of one of those long, thin rail car homes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But he was able to build it. It looks beautiful, and he was going to sell it, but I think he's since decided to keep it. It's 19 feet tall, and it does cast a shadow over his neighbors, along with the construction. So there you go. There you have it.
You know, it's neat. I had lived in it. I still have it. We rented out, but it's a tiny home, and you think you can't live like this. This obviously much bigger. This is gorgeous, actually.
Yeah.
And it goes to show you where we're at in architecture, where we can go up. I mean, he probably has just enough room for that he would have just a normal size house.
Yeah.
A great lot.
Right.
And Roy Rogers said, "You buy land because they're not making it anymore."
That is true. That's a great point.
Keep that in mind. Hey, we found the perfect gift for the billionaire who has, well, everything. How about a luxury doomsday bunker? It's complete with a medical suite, a swimming pool, even fine dining restaurants inside it. It's high-end, it's underground, it's a fortress, and it's set to open up in 2026 and be a safe haven in the event of some life-changing disaster. It's going to provide a 5-star experience to the lucky few who are willing to pay, ready? $20 million just for a membership. Now, the bunker, which has been named Airy, will actually be a part of a network of underground safe houses that cater to the top 1%. They claim that it's going to provide a sanctuary for those who can afford it, no matter the disaster. It's also going to offer an AI-powered medical care, wellness programs, and a promise to blend protection as well as luxury. The first of 50 luxury bunkers in all 50 states are going to start in Virginia. I think Bezos, too, has built his very own. And it's Bill Gates who's buying property everywhere, and it's freaking everybody out.
A little bit, yeah.
And and now you see these bunkers popping up, like, what's happening?
Right.
I think that threat's always been there, but even still, it's a little scarier when the billionaires are finding stuff like this and beyond. But
I guess my question is, I know this was popular during the 1950s when there was the threat of nuclear war and people were building those underground bunkers. Is this just kind of a trend that's sort of seeing itself repeat once again? And to me, when somebody's selling me a bunker underneath the ground for $20 million, I'm suspect, because I'm thinking, when am I ever going to use this thing?
That's actually right. Yeah. When would you?
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be like a timeshare that you could go see it every once in a while. So think about that. And I think that with what's happening, the tensions between us and Russia, I think this is, which is probably the same sentiment that we had back then, that we're at now. I remember in the 80s, the Cold War was going on, and you never knew. We got some real talk, fact or fiction coming up. We're talking about the movie Saturday Night.
Real talk over.
Real talk music.
I like
Sing
it.
along with it. Welcome back, everybody, to Daily Flash. It's time for some real talk, fact or fiction. We're going to take a closer look at Saturday Night.
Okay, let's see if we can get through one of these skits.
Sketches, baby, please.
Okay, you ready, camera one?
Oh, can we go again? The actors on their mark. My name is Lauren Michaels. I'm the producer and creator of Saturday Night. We're excited because there's never been a television show like this.
Okay, but what kind of show is it, Lauren? Do you even know what the show is?
Did anyone ask Edison what a light bulb was before he harnessed electricity?
Who are you in the metaphor?
Saturday Night is based on a true story of what took place in the hours leading up to the first ever episode of Saturday Night Live. It reveals the chaotic scramble of actors, writers, and network executives. A young producer named Lauren Michaels is trying to put something on the air that no one has ever seen before in late night. The date is October 11th, 1975, as the clock ticks toward 11:30 p.m. and a rerun of The Tonight Show is loaded and ready to go. I love the way this is shot. I love the long form and the quick and the fast. And Jason Reitman, co-writer and director, son of a legendary director, Ivan Reitman.
And he's hung around when they were doing all this.
Yes.
Grew up with it. Right?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
So what's fact and what's fiction in Saturday Night? Well, Business Insider describes Jason Reitman's movie as somewhat true. Here's what the movie does get right. John Belushi's last-minute contract dispute.
You know, the NBC Liability Act forbids you from ice skating.
I found John.
Oh, excellent work, Hilda.
Good thing I didn't sign my contract.
What's the deal, John? You on the show or not?
The one where I get to dress up like a giant grotesque bee? I don't know. Let me ask my childhood dreams.
So according to director Jason Reitman, Belushi was known more for his stage work in comedy, and he was struggling with the idea of performing for a TV audience. Manager Bernie Brillstein recalls Belushi signing the contract 5 minutes before showtime. Wow. Brillstein was Lorne Michaels' manager at the time, and Belushi agreed to sign as long as Bernie agreed to represent him too. Researchers for the show say the original cast members were offered identical 5-year contracts for about $25,000 during their first season.
That's pretty smart on his act. Him got a good representative to that and got a good deal.
Yeah.
All right, director Jason Reitman describes this movie as a thriller comedy, and an ongoing llama joke and a near lighting disaster fit this description. However, neither are true.
Hey, Lauren, I'm getting calls from upstairs. You ordered a llama?
A llama? Yeah, we all decided it was much funnier than a donkey.
Right. Just the guys down at the loading dock were expecting, livestock.
Well, NBC did ask for something fresh and unexpected.
That is true. That's true. They also weren't expecting you to demand an overhaul in the entire lighting and sound package.
Right.
You are so fluffy. Hey, come on, Andy.
All right, well, early on in the movie, a llama arrives at the studio. Historians say this is actually kind of a nod to a long-running gag that's on the show. Whenever the camera goes backstage, you've seen this, there's usually a llama, a showgirl, or someone dressed like Abe Lincoln wandering the hallway for no apparent reason. As far as the lighting rig goes, director says, that the actors were not in the middle of the scene when the lights actually fell, but there was a different equipment disaster. The camera crane used for the shows lost its brakes and it plowed right through the set. However, the sofa really did catch on fire during the premiere night and was replaced from one that was in the writer's room.
That's great.
Yeah.
I didn't know the llama thing. I didn't realize that.
If you always go out there, they have like random stuff. I know what they talk about, but I wouldn't have caught that.
Yeah.
Every time they go back, but I always wondered if there was a story there, but I guess it's just a gag.
In the movie, Johnny Carson and The Tonight Show play a major role in the development of Saturday Night Live.
And now, weekend update. Good evening. Gentlemen, how long have you been standing there?
Long enough. They want you to fail. They're betting on it.
That's logical, Dick. That's why they're paying us all to be here.
NBC makes more money playing reruns of The Tonight Show. I mean, Lauren, 90 minutes of live television by a group of 20-year-olds who have never made anything.
Okay, so this is a bit.
Fact here, network execs were in a contract dispute with Tonight Show host Johnny Carson. Carson wanted to do his show 3 nights a week with reruns airing 2 nights a week instead of on the weekend. So NBC decided to create its own programming with a new variety show. Saturday Night suggests there was a great deal of animosity from Carson toward Lorne Michaels, but in reality, the two met weeks prior to the show's debut and agreed not to book guests during the same time. Carson was asked to guest host, but he never did. Carson was never hostile, as the movie suggests. However, he was skeptical of the show's success.
Which you can imagine. Anything new, you got to be skeptical about.
And the thing I found out about it was there was no original script left out there except Billy Crystal. It was at his house, and Jason went over there, and Billy's like, "Hey, I have this for you." And it's ironic because he wasn't on the show. He was there, but he got cut.
Well, he was supposed to be on, but it wasn't on.
Didn't he get cut because the skit was too long, or the sketch was too long?
Which, by the way, this past weekend, it's 50 years.
50 years anniversary.
It's incredible if you think about that. And then Howard Cosell had an ABC show that prior season, before Saturday Night Live came on, called Saturday Night. And it was a live show. It was very similar, but nothing like it. It was more like a Ed Sullivan kind of show.
Variety show, yeah.
We got more Flash coming up right after this. Stick around.
This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everybody. I am Mitch English.
I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash, your source for trending news and entertainment.
Man, we love having you here. Today's trends, tomorrow's talk. And, I've said many times, if bad people that do bad things would just put their energy into good, they would change this world.
Absolutely.
We go now to Idaho, where a guy got busted. He was going through Walmart, and he's a very, he would do the self-checking all the time, right? So he would grab something, let's say I take his phone, and he would do it like this. He would scan it over like this, right?
Okay.
something. Pretend it was just like a box of something like
Okay.
this. Well, they would walk out. He'd have, all his stuff. He'd scroll out and they go, yada, yada. Basically, he made a ring with a barcode on the bottom of it, right? That was like a can of soup or something like that. The problem with it is that he got greedy and he tried to buy this $300
television?
Not television.
Crock-pot?
No, the
blender
for hamburgers, grill.
Grill.
Thing. All right. So anyway, and did the whole thing with his ring. But the problem is when they check it out, they're counting how many things that you have in here, and then they look at the receipt sometimes at some of the things, and that's how he got caught. He had been doing it for months and months and months by just using the same thing. And the person over there is not really paying attention. As long as you're scanning something. So again, these are the people that actually, if you do good, you probably could really change the world. Having a barcode on your ring, though.
Ring. How about
not
that?
Clever though.
It's clever.
You
You can hide it easily.
I like to watch that On Patrol live show
Yes.
on Reels.
Yes,
It's so good. But so many times they've gone to a Walmart. Their security system, the video surveillance system in Walmart is insane. Oh my God.
Over the top, really.
So there's a good chance that they were probably watching this guy for a while and they were just waiting for the right moment to bust him.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I was really shocked, but their security and their like shoplifting and theft prevention team, bar none.
Maybe because it was a big ticket item, that's what they went after a certain level of how much they're actually stealing.
Money, very possible.
It's not encouraging if that's the case, because then you have more people stealing less things, but they're still stealing.
Well, and that's what happened in California when they lowered the whole thing about, well, if you don't steal any more than $900 worth of stuff. And I was like, really? So you're just encouraging people to rip off stores for $899?
I was just out there 2 weeks ago and had to go into a Walgreens to get something. That process to get anything, like toothpaste
everything's
or whatever,
locked up.
it was a pain. I would wait 10 minutes for them to come over and open the thing so you could get the toothpaste.
They were saying
everything was
they were
locked up?
racially profiling those things too, saying it was like, no, these things are stolen. That's why they're
This was
locked
in a
up.
nice area
It's
too.
nothing to do with any.
They had the same thing at some Walmarts where the Tide and all the laundry detergent.
You go to the one
up certain areas.
Yeah.
It was locked up. Wow.
Well, did you know that in Kennesaw, Georgia, it is against the law not to own a gun? Residents in the small town are required to own guns and ammo. It's a rule that's been on the books since the early 1980s. The law excludes anyone who's not legally allowed to own a gun or has conflicting religious beliefs. The law is a source of pride for some residents and embarrassment for others. Most, though, believe the law helps keep citizens safe because most everyone is packing heat. So you're thinking twice. While Kennesaw became the first town to require gun ownership, Morton Grove, Illinois became the first city in the U.S. to ban gun ownership, which is sort of interesting because I'm not quite sure how they can do that with the Second Amendment.
I can't see how. I don't know. Maybe a certain caliber. I don't know, but it seems like that's against what the Constitution was all about. Wherever side you might sit on, you have that right to be able to do it. I think it'd be interesting. This would be interesting to watch this town to see how crime number one, number two.
Yes.
It's in a lock. They should have with that. It needs you have to have a gun and it has to be locked up. That's the biggest thing. These the lockbox we have. It's awesome. I can open it right now if I wanted to, and I can because it's hooked up through our Wi-Fi. But you can put your fingers on it and it opens right up as well. So it's not like it's cumbersome, but you got to keep those guns safe if you're going to have them in your home.
You got to learn how to use it,
and that's even more important.
And be willing to use it if you need to.
They say the people that die are the people that are afraid to pull the trigger, and you have to be ready for that.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of responsibility that comes along with gun ownership. And one town we'll have to sit, wait, watch, and see if that makes a big difference in crime rates. We got more of today's Trends, Tomorrow's Talk. Don't go anywhere. We love having you around. Stick around. You're watching Daily Flash. Welcome back. I'm Mitch English. It's pretty important for us to stay on track and focus on our fitness goals throughout the entire year. We got Planet Fitness National Lead Trainer Teddy Savage. He's here to help you keep you motivated.
Hi, thanks for having me. Listen, it's finally February, which is good news after a January that seemed like it was never ending, right? And here's the thing, our fitness resolutions are so far off in the distance that we probably don't remember what they were. But the good news is there's never a bad time to stay connected to your fitness journey. And February is actually a great opportunity for you to make your health and wellness a top priority. Because February is National Heart Health Month, and the American Heart Association recommends that we all get at least 150 minutes of moderate aerobic activity in a week's time. But that 150 minutes does not need to be super intense. As a matter of fact, it could be you just doing what you already love to do, like exercise. You see, because exercise is not only going to build a stronger heart, but it's going to boost the oxygen levels in your body. It's also going to help to reduce stress and anxiety while at the same time giving you the natural energy to power through the day. And in 2025, Planet Fitness is excited that we're all getting stronger together. And a stronger heart doesn't just mean cardio, right? It means also infusing your workout routines with strength training as well. So we are super excited to be launching our new plate-loaded strength series in all of our gyms. It's already fitted in 1,700 locations with the goal to have all 2,700 fitted by the end of 2025. So let's talk about the equipment. The supine bench press is one of my personal favorites because it really targets your chest, shoulders, and triceps without putting unnecessary stress on your shoulder. The next one is a plate-loaded hack squat. And if you know anything about a hack squat, you know it is one of the most dynamic lower body exercises you could do, bar none. The last one is a plate-loaded seated calf extension that's really good for targeting those calf muscles that help with balance and stability. So if you need more information, be sure to go to our website at planetfitness.com, or better yet, download our free Planet Fitness app. Listen, we're all getting stronger together, and with convenient locations all around the world and most of our gyms being open 24 hours, there's bound to be one close by you. So let's make 2025 our strongest year ever.
The kickoff to Rebuild event was held this year in New Orleans. It was all in partnership with Lowe's and the NFL.
Well, Rebuilding Together is a national nonprofit, and we help people on low income, fixed incomes with the critical repairs they need in their homes to eliminate hazards and stay safe. We're doing that here at Kickoff to Rebuild with the help of Lowe's, and we do it every day across the country.
This is my second year with Rebuilding Together. I figured, why not come back, especially in my hometown, born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana. Grew up right around the way from St. Rock. And I just want to get back to my community as much as I can. And this is why I'm here.
The home is the heart of everything. It's the foundation for our success. So the more that we can go in and help people at no cost, eliminate hazards, remain healthy in their homes, and then see them thrive and their communities thrive, it's one of the best things you can do to help somebody be successful in life. You can head to rebuildingtogether.org, and we'd love you to do that. We always need volunteers. We certainly need donations. These are at no cost to the homeowner, so please visit.
Okay, if you're just dabbling around in the living room or kitchen, whatever, I need you to look at the screen because this is going to freak you out. There's a guy in Florida. He went to the hospital saying, listen, I got this yellowish ooze that's coming out of the palm of my hands, my elbows, and the soles of the feet. Well, the man told the doctors he was on a carnivore diet.
Oh, my.
This is his daily food choices, made up of entire sticks of butter, 6 cheese and hamburger patties a day. Now, the carnivore diet involves consuming only animal products like meat, eggs, and dairy. Since going full fat and all animal, the man said he lost weight, saw improvements in his energy levels, but his skin told a different story. The painless ooze had been affecting him for nearly a month before he actually saw treatment. Doctors discovered that his cholesterol levels exceeded 1,000 milligrams. Give you an idea, healthy level is 200 milligrams. He was at 1,000. That is cholesterol coming out of his hands. Ugh. Gross. Well, it's the new year, keeps rocking and rolling. The focus is usually on improving our physical health, but our brains, well, they need attention too. Here is Dr. Suzanne Solomon. She's got some simple tips to keep our minds and our memory all in shape.
Thank you so much for having me. So for starters, I would say get enough sleep. You want to aim for about 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep every night. And next, a brain healthy diet is important. Plenty of fruits such as berries, vegetables, leafy greens, healthy fats like avocado, fish, or nuts, and really limit your processed food, especially sugary drinks, your fast food, processed snacks, all of that. Next up is exercise. I always recommend moving your body because you love yourself, not because you have to. Movement is key. Also, you want to keep your stress at bay. You can manage your stress with meditation, deep breathing, exercise, yoga, any hobbies or activities you have. And I always recommend a good supplement. Nariva is a favorite of mine. And unlike some supplements such as Prevagen, which said it improved memory, but they couldn't support the claim, Nariva Plus actually supports up to 6 brain health indicators, including memory when taken regularly. Plus, you can find Nariva right over the counter. I also recommend cognitive stimulation such as reading, puzzles, learning a language, playing an instrument, or taking a class. Social activities that include conversing with others are important as well. And always remember, do not smoke and limit your alcohol. And that certain medications can also impact your cognition negatively. For more information, please visit nariva.com.
Time to talk a little money right now. How will new inflation data and tariffs affect small businesses and you? Here to talk to us about it is Amanda Webster. She's the COO of Fund and Grow. Hey, Amanda, welcome back.
Hey, Andrea, thank you for having me.
How might the upcoming inflation data influence the operational costs and pricing strategies of small businesses, particularly those reliant on imported goods?
I think you're going to see a lot of shifting in the market. You're going to see potential increase in pricing of consumer goods because unfortunately some of that does have to get passed on. I do think you'll also see businesses go into finding other avenues for countries that can provide the supply that they need without the tariffs. I think there's just a lot of unknowns, and I think that's part of the issue is we're all fatigued from the unknown. So it's really up in the air right now, but it's definitely going to cost everybody a little bit more.
With rising inflation and potential tariff increases, how do you anticipate consumer spending habits changing, especially for non-essential goods and services? I know some of the popular low-end clothing and services websites are already kind of feeling a bit of a pain and a pinch.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of budgeting and shifting on the consumer side, similar to we've seen in years past. I feel we're all a little fatigued on that, but we ultimately have to make sure our needs are met first. So I do think you'll see a decrease in consumer spending on non-essentials, hopefully only temporary while all of this works out, but there'll definitely be a shift in that mentality for the consumer side. They just have to make sure their bills are paid first.
I do think it's an interesting shift and a great conversation to be having right now, especially among American consumers. What's made in America? What's available to us here? And especially for a small business, if they're trying to manufacture, being made in America could be something that could be an extremely popular thing for them. How could new tariffs exacerbate existing supply chain issues for some of those small businesses? And what steps can they take to mitigate challenges?
I think the global, climate right now is you need to find suppliers that are local. You need to find people that are here to eliminate that uncertainty. You're not going to see this go away. This administration has made this a very big deal. And I believe that after all the dust settles, it'll all kind of get to a nice place. But I think that as a consumer doing your research, as a business owner, you need to find a way to eliminate that piece so that you can have certainty in your budgeting. So I do think the made in the US is going to be a great comeback.
Yeah, and I think it's a great marketing strategy because I know after trying to remodel my house, I tried to find so many products that were made in America, and it was tough. It was actually more challenging than I thought it would be. So really, I think moving forward, it could be a badge of honor for so many of these small businesses. In an environment of rising inflation and economic uncertainty, how might small businesses face difficulties in securing loans or investments, and what alternatives could they explore?
I don't know that obtaining the loans and the funding will be more difficult. I think you're going to see a lot of that shifting with some other deregulations. But I think the bigger question that business owners need to have is, do they have a plan B to ensure they can pay back that funding? They can pay back those loans or those investments into their company. So I think they need to think more long term and have multiple kind of avenues to go down. So I think it's more of diversifying their funding options more than the difficulty of obtaining it.
And what strategies can small businesses and consumers adopt to remain resilient in the face of what could be persistent inflation and potential tariff-related economic pressures?
I think now is the time for financial auditing yourself, your personal, your business, anywhere you can look at it to make sure that you're getting rid of anything that's not needed to ensure that you can keep your staff, that you can keep the supply chain going, that you can keep yourself in business. Consumer side, same thing. Budgeting and making a financial audit so you can be solvent and fiscal during this shift, I think will be essential for everybody. And I also think it's just a great thing to do anyways as a business owner. But I think if you haven't done it recently, go ahead and redo it.
Yeah, and I think what we're seeing now with DOGE in Washington, D.C., it's bringing so much attention to that financial audit. Why haven't we done it before? Why don't we do it more going forward? And it's a great example for small businesses to take a page from that to see where they can trim things up. Definitely some growing pains going forward, but anytime change happens, that's what we experience, especially in the marketplace. Amanda, always good to see you. For more information on how to earn and use business credit, you can go to fundandgrow.com. You can also head to our website, dailyflashshow.com. We've got all our current and past interviews with Amanda right there on our website page, dailyflashshow.com. Stay with us. More coming up right after this. I'm Andrea Jackson.
I'm Mitch English, welcoming you to
Mitch English and Andrea Jackson have co-hosted together for over a decade. And now, only on Daily Flash, they serve up a fast, fun, fresh perspective on the day's trending news and entertainment.
Okay, so you want me to cancel the Will and Jada Smith celebrity roast? Okay, will do.
You'll be entertained with intriguing, informative, and engaging guests. Daily Flash offers the latest in pop news, celebrity gossip, fashion, health, wellness, and even some unscripted, irreverent, who knows what's next fun.
All right, I'm going to pull a groin. Oh, that's not what broke.
Daily Flash with Mitch English and Andrea Jackson. Trending news and entertainment.
Everybody, welcome back to Daily Flash. A former criminal's ordinary life turns upside down when his old family shows up for a long-awaited reunion. This is today's must-watch movie, Riff Raff.
Riff Raff.
No Slim Jims. Past 2 hours, you've been passing gas like a very sick infant. I gotta breathe all day.
I'm sorry, Lefty. I had a lot of coffee, okay? Sorry.
And then you use my name? Jesus Christ, Lonnie. You just said my name. You catch our names by any chance?
Yeah, he called you Lefty and you called him Lonnie.
Well, I overreacted.
Okay.
Son, we gotta talk about Lefty. What did you do?
Stop it!
You killed his son.
You're gonna kill us.
What are you doing?
I get horny when I'm scared.
I'm married.
Who cares? It's just us and the wildlife, you know?
This is our son.
We're too young to be grandparents. All because your son couldn't pull out in time. We've got house guests.
I would categorize these as a must kill.
What are we? Family. Oh my God. Can I get you anything? I'd sell my left for an Advil and a cup of coffee.
You said what?
Who was first?
There was this food incident, Rocco, with pubes in my wonton soup. If it's okay, I would just really like to torture him a little bit, if it's okay.
Shouldn't have done that, Rocco. Yeah, knock yourself out.
Oh my God. Are we all gonna die?
You don't have all night?
Wait for me before you two start hitting each other.
You know, once you start killing, it sort of becomes your de facto solution for every problem.
What a cast. My goodness.
No
Jennifer
kidding, right?
Coolidge, Ed Harris, you got Ed Burns.
And you got,
Bill
it looks like a good movie. Bill Murray right there, you got me. That does it for the show. Y'all take care. We'll see you when we look at you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.